Remember the story about the tortoise and the hare? Well, I'm going to show you today why getting consistent rates of return as opposed to speculative rates of return makes a lot more sense in many cases. So let's just get started here. Now, we happen to believe that avoiding the losses is much more important than picking the winners. So let's just test that theory and see how that works. We're going to start off here with $100,000 as far as a starting number. Now, if you don't like my numbers, add some zeros, subtract some zeros. I use $100,000 because it makes it simple math. I'm going to use an average rate of return of 6%. I can do that very safely in a safe environment. I can also do it tax-free. And I'm going to look at a 22-year projection. So when I go to look at that 22-year projection, you can see here, there's 6% compounding over here and speculative 6%. But I'm going to take the last 22 years of the market here. I'll take the year 2000 through 2022. I'll use the S&P 500. And I'll use those results. Now, you can see that over a period of time here, that in 2000, we had a negative, 2001, 2002, and I'm sure most of you remember these numbers. Now, down here, we had a negative in 2008, and then we had another negative down here in 2019. And then if we had 23 in there, we would see that there was a loss in 23 as well. But all that being said, okay, if we take a look here, we can see that we started off with $100,000, and unfortunately, we had less money. Now, something else we want to keep in mind as we're looking at this is there's no fees associated with this. We're not showing the fees inside of whatever it is we have invested in. So we go down through here, and you can see that on the steady rate of return, we ended up with $360,354, and on the speculative rate of return, we ended up with $324. Now, that's not too bad. You know, we had some 28% years, 26, 29s, but we had a steady 6, and we still outperformed them. So what would happen here if we were to go out here and look at this in a form of a graph? Now, we can see here that all the way throughout with a steady rate of return, we did this. Now, you could argue that I wouldn't make 6% during these years, and there would be a strong argument for that, all right? But let's shuffle these numbers and see what happens going forward. So you can see out here as I shuffle it that depending upon when I get a higher rate of return as opposed to a steady rate of return, that I actually am doing better in the speculative market. So we'll just shuffle that a few times. Look at that one. That one's incredible. I mean, the speculative market, we're way higher than we were in the steady rates of return. Keep clicking through here. And the problem with this is speculation. So remember, I've told you up to this point that you're really playing a game, and your game is called accumulation, and you're trying to accumulate enough money so that when you reach retirement, that you have enough money that you will live the lifestyle you've become accustomed to, adjusted for taxes and inflation, out beyond yours and your spouse's life expectancy, and then be able to pass your money on in the most tax-favored way possible. Well, that works great as far as accumulation goes up until the point where you reach distribution or retirement. See, when you're over here in this accumulation stage, if this market goes down, like in this example right here, where the market goes down, that's not really a problem if you're accumulating money, because you simply wait for it to come back because you already have a paycheck. You've got a job that's bringing money in the door. But when you get over here to the preservation or distribution stage of your life and the market goes down, then that can be a real problem. And the reason why it's a real problem is because what happens at that stage is that you start to lose your money and you get on this downhill slide where you're going to run out of money. So just an example. Let's say we have $1 million, all right? And we need to get $60,000 a year every year out of that $1 million. Well, if it's making 6% every year, life is good. 6%, life is good. But 1 year, just 1 year in the market loses 20%. Well, we go down to $800,000, correct? No, we don't. we go down to $740,000 because we still need to consume that money. Our paycheck is coming out of this money. And now we're on this downhill slide. And because we're on this downhill slide, eventually we run out of money. And this is why we think it's very, very important to avoid the losses rather than pick the winners. We don't believe that 12, 13, 15, 20% rates of return are nearly as important as not losing your money, especially in retirement. Now, put in the comments what you believe. Do you believe that it's best to make the highest rate of return or make the highest net return? Which one is more important to you? The paycheck or having huge amounts of money and then small amounts of money, huge amounts of money, small amounts of money? What's important to you? Do you want to be on the roller coaster ride or do you want to be on a steady, nice, even ride when it comes to retirement? What do you want to do? Are you worried about running out of money in your lifetime? If you are, take the time to reach out to us. We'll show you how we avoid the losses rather than worrying about picking the winners. Listen, remember to live like you're going to die tomorrow and plan like you're going to live forever. Be sure to put some comments down below about what you thought about this video. Share it with your friends. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Keep smiling and make it a great day.